MASH remains one of television's most unforgettable comedies, blending sharp humor with deeply human stories of friendship, sacrifice, and survival. Set in a mobile army surgical hospital during the Korean War, it showed how laughter helped doctors, nurses, and soldiers endure fear, exhaustion, and loss. In this video, we'll look back at the cast, their real names, ages, memorable roles, and the remarkable lives they built beyond the 4077th, while also honoring the beloved performers who are no longer with us. Let's return to the camp, where unforgettable friendships, difficult goodbyes, quiet acts of compassion, and laughter in the darkest moments transformed a wartime comedy into one of television's most meaningful stories. Harry Morgan brought warmth, discipline, and wonderfully understated humor to Colonel Sherman T. Potter, the veteran commander whose gruff manner concealed a deeply caring heart. Born Harry Bratsburg on the 10th of April 1915 in Detroit, Michigan, he was 60 years old when he took over leadership of the 4077th in 1975. With his weathered face, steady voice, and effortless comic timing, Morgan made Potter feel like a man shaped by decades of military service rather than a conventional television authority figure. He could be stern, impatient, and fiercely devoted to duty, yet his compassion always emerged when his doctors and nurses needed guidance, forgiveness, or simply a fatherly presence. Morgan remained in the role for 8 seasons, giving the ensemble stability and emotional depth, while earning the 1,980 Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. Long before becoming Colonel Potter, he had built a remarkable career in films such as High Noon, The Glenn Miller Story, and Inherit the Wind, and was widely recognized as Officer Bill Gannon in Dragnet. Harry Morgan died at his home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, on the 7th of December 2011 after suffering from pneumonia. He was 96 years old. His legacy endures through a commander whose humor, wisdom, and quiet kindness made him feel like the heart of the entire camp. Loretta Swit brought strength, wit, and remarkable emotional depth to Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan, the disciplined head nurse whose tough exterior gradually revealed courage, vulnerability, and compassion. Born Loretta Jane Schwed on the 4th of November, 1937, in Passaic, New Jersey, she was 34 years old when she first stepped into the role in 1972. With her commanding voice, sharp comic timing, and expressive presence, Swit transformed Margaret from a strict military stereotype into a capable woman determined to earn respect in a male-dominated world. Across all 11 seasons, she gave the character a powerful journey, balancing authority and humor with moments of loneliness, tenderness, and personal growth. Her performance earned 10 Emmy nominations and 2 wins, making her one of the most celebrated members of the cast. Beyond acting, Swit remained devoted to theater, painting, and animal welfare, using her public platform to support causes close to her heart. She died at her home in New York City on the 30th of May 2025, from likely natural causes at the age of 87. Her legacy lives on through a groundbreaking character whose resilience and humanity inspired generations of viewers. David Ogden Stiers brought intelligence, elegance, and wonderfully dry humor to Major Charles Emerson Winchester III, the gifted surgeon whose aristocratic pride often concealed loneliness, compassion, and a deeply sensitive heart. Born David Allen Ogden Stiers on the 31st of October 1942 in Peoria, Illinois, he was 34 years old when he joined the cast in 1977. With his refined accent, imposing presence, and precise comic timing, Stiers transformed Winchester from a seemingly arrogant outsider into one of the show's most complex and human characters. Charles could be vain, impatient, and openly frustrated by military life. Yet his love of music and unexpected acts of kindness revealed a gentler man beneath the polished exterior. Stiers remained through the final 6 seasons, earning 2 Emmy Award nominations for his performance. A Juilliard-trained actor, he later became an acclaimed voice performer, portraying Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast, Governor Ratcliffe in Pocahontas, and Jumba Jookiba in Lilo and Stitch. He was also a talented orchestral conductor. David Ogden Stiers died at his home in Newport, Oregon, on the 3rd of March 2018, from bladder cancer at the age of 75. His legacy endures through a character whose pride, wit, and hidden tenderness made every appearance unforgettable. McLean Stevenson brought warmth, vulnerability, and effortless comedy to Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, the well-meaning commander whose disorganized leadership concealed a generous and deeply caring heart. Born Edgar McLean Stevenson Jr. on the 14th of November, 1927, in Normal, Illinois. He was 44 years old when he first appeared in the role in 1972. With his relaxed delivery, nervous expressions, and natural comic timing, Stevenson made Henry feel less like a traditional military officer and more like an ordinary man trying to guide his unit through an extraordinary crisis. He could be distracted, overwhelmed, and easily manipulated, yet his loyalty to the doctors and nurses under his command was always sincere. Stevenson portrayed the character throughout the first 3 seasons, earning a Golden Globe Award and several Emmy nominations. His departure led to one of television's most heartbreaking and unforgettable farewells. He later starred in The McLean Stevenson Show, Hello, Larry, and Condo, while remaining a familiar guest on television. McLean Stevenson died in Los Angeles on the 15th of February, 1996, after suffering a heart attack while recovering from surgery. He was 68 years old. His legacy lives on through a commander whose humor, kindness, and tragic final journey still move audiences decades later. Larry Linville brought nervous energy, sharp comedy, and surprising vulnerability to Major Frank Burns, the self-important surgeon whose confidence often collapsed the moment he faced real pressure. Born Lawrence Levon Linville on the 29th of September 1939 in Ojai, California, he was 32 years old when audiences first saw him in the role in 1972. With his stiff posture, anxious expressions, and perfectly timed frustration, Linville turned Frank into far more than a simple villain. The character could be arrogant, jealous, hypocritical, and painfully insecure, yet those weaknesses made him both hilarious and strangely human. Across the first 5 seasons, Linville willingly allowed himself to look foolish so that every joke landed naturally, creating one of television's most memorable comic antagonists. Trained at London's Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, he later appeared in The Love Boat, The Jeffersons, Paper Dolls, and Earth Girls Are Easy. Larry Linville died in New York City on the 10th of April 2000 from complications following cancer surgery. He was 60 years old. His legacy endures through a difficult character, made unforgettable by fearless comedy, precise timing, and an actor who was far warmer and more thoughtful than the man he portrayed. William Christopher brought gentleness, sincerity, and quiet humor to Father Francis Mulcahy, the compassionate army chaplain who offered comfort and hope amid the fear and suffering of war. Born on the 20th of October, 1932, in Evanston, Illinois, he was 39 years old when he began portraying the role in 1972. With his soft voice, thoughtful expressions, and naturally warm presence, Christopher made Mulcahy feel like far more than a spiritual advisor. Though sometimes overlooked by the louder personalities around him, the priest showed remarkable courage whenever wounded soldiers or exhausted medical workers needed support. Across all 11 seasons, Christopher gave the character humility, moral strength, and a gentle wit that brought calm to even the darkest moments. He later reprised the role in Times After MASH. Earlier in his career, he was well known as Private Lester Hummel in Time's Gomer Pyle, USMC, and appeared in numerous television comedies. William Christopher died at his home in Pasadena, California, on the 31st of December 2016 from non-lung small cell carcinoma. He was 84 years old. His legacy lives on through a chaplain whose kindness, faith, and quiet bravery reminded viewers that compassion could survive even in the middle of chaos. Kelly Nakahara brought warmth, sincerity, and quiet resilience to Lieutenant Kelly Yamato, the dependable nurse whose kindness gave the crowded operating rooms of the 4077th a more human heart. Born Kelly Nakahara Watson on the 16th of January, 1948, on Oahu, Hawaii. She was 25 years old when she began appearing in the role in 1973. With her gentle humor, natural expressions, and comforting presence, Nakahara made Kelly memorable even when she stood outside the center of the story. The character was compassionate and professional, yet she was also strong enough to demand recognition. most memorably confronting Hawkeye for constantly overlooking her. Appearing in more than 150 episodes, Nakahara gradually transformed a background nurse into a familiar and beloved member of the ensemble. Beyond the 4077th, she appeared in Clue, She's Having a Baby, Dr. Dolittle, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She was also an accomplished watercolor artist who remained active in her local arts community. Kelly Nakahara died peacefully at her home in Pasadena, California, on the 16th of February 2020, following a brief battle with cancer. She was 72 years old. Her legacy lives on through a nurse whose compassion, humor, and quiet dignity proved that even a supporting character could leave an unforgettable impression. Alan Arbus brought wisdom, empathy, and wonderfully dry humor to Major Sidney Friedman, the calm psychiatrist who helped exhausted doctors and soldiers confront the emotional wounds of war. Born Alan Franklin Arbus on the 15th of February 1918 in New York City, he was 55 years old when he first appeared in the role in 1973. With his thoughtful pauses, gentle voice, and quietly reassuring presence, Arbus made Sidney feel less like a visiting officer and more like a trusted friend who understood what others were afraid to admit. Appearing in only 12 episodes between 1973 and 1983, he nevertheless created one of the series' most memorable recurring characters. Before acting, Arbus served as an army photographer during World War II and later built a successful fashion photography studio with his first wife, renowned photographer Diane Arbus. He began performing professionally in his 40s and appeared in films such as Putney Swope, Greaser's Palace, and Damien, Omen 2. Alan Arbus died at his home in Los Angeles on the 19th of April, 2013, from complications of congestive heart failure. He was 95 years old. His legacy endures through a psychiatrist whose compassion, intelligence, and gentle wit brought comfort and humanity to even the darkest moments. Alan Alda brought wit, compassion, and extraordinary emotional honesty to Captain Benjamin Franklin, Hawkeye Pierce, the brilliant surgeon who used humor to survive the cruelty and heartbreak surrounding him. Born Alfonso Joseph d'Abruzzo on the 28th of January 1936 in New York City, he was 36 years old when audiences first met Hawkeye in 1972. With his quick smile, expressive eyes, and effortless delivery, Alda made the character charming and rebellious while never hiding the pain beneath his jokes. Hawkeye could be sarcastic, stubborn, and openly opposed to military authority, yet his deepest instinct was always to protect human life. Across all 11 seasons, Alda helped shape the series as an actor, writer, and director, becoming the only person to win Emmy Awards for performing, writing, and directing on the same television program. His later career included acclaimed roles in The West Wing, Crimes and Misdemeanors, and The Aviator, which earned him an Academy Award nomination. He also became a passionate advocate for clearer science communication. As of July 2026, Alan Alda is 90 years old. Despite living with Parkinson's disease, he continues to approach life with humor and curiosity. His legacy remains inseparable from a surgeon whose laughter, anger, and compassion revealed the true human cost of war. Jamie Farr brought fearless comedy, warmth, and unexpected emotional depth to Corporal Maxwell Q. Klinger, the resourceful soldier whose elaborate outfits and outrageous schemes were meant to convince the army that he deserved a discharge. Born Jamil Joseph Farah on the 1st of July, 1934, in Toledo, Ohio, he was 38 years old when he first appeared in the role in 1972. With his expressive face, energetic delivery, and complete commitment to every joke, Farr transformed what was originally intended as a brief character into one of television's most beloved figures. Klinger could be dramatic, mischievous, and endlessly inventive, yet beneath the comedy was a loyal man who cared deeply for his friends and longed for home. Over 11 seasons, the character matured from a desperate corporal into a dependable company clerk, allowing Farr to reveal greater tenderness and dignity. Before joining the 4077th, he appeared in Time's Blackboard Jungle Times and served in the United States Army. He later reprised Klinger in Time's After MASH Times and appeared in the Time's Cannonball Run Times films. As of July 2026, Jamie Farr is 92 years old. His legacy remains defined by fearless humor and a character whose eccentricity never overshadowed his courage, loyalty, and generous heart. Gary Burghoff brought innocence, sensitivity, and gentle humor to Corporal Walter Radar O'Reilly, the young company clerk whose remarkable instincts often allowed him to anticipate orders before they were spoken. Born Gary Rich Burghoff on the 24th of May 1943 in Bristol, Connecticut, he was 29 years old when audiences first saw him in the television role in 1972. With his soft voice, nervous expressions, and wide-eyed sincerity, Burghoff made Radar feel like a piece of home in a place surrounded by fear and loss. The character could be naive and easily embarrassed, yet he was also intelligent, dependable, and deeply compassionate toward wounded soldiers, frightened patients, and even the camp's animals. Across 7 seasons and a moving 2-part farewell, Burghoff allowed Radar to mature without losing the kindness that made him so beloved. He was the only performer from the 1970 film to reprise the same role in the television adaptation, and his performance earned 7 Emmy nominations and a win in 1977. Beyond acting, he pursued music, wildlife painting, and invention. As of July 2026, Gary Burghoff is 83 years old. His legacy remains tied to a clerk whose innocence offered warmth, hope, and humanity amid the chaos of war. Mike Farrell brought warmth, integrity, and quiet emotional strength to Captain B.J. Honeycutt, the devoted surgeon whose steady compassion often balanced Hawkeye's restless anger and reckless humor. Born Michael Joseph Farrell on the 6th of February 1939 in St. Paul, Minnesota, he was 36 years old when he joined the cast in 1975. With his gentle voice, expressive eyes, and natural sincerity, Farrell made B.J. feel like an ordinary husband and father forced to endure an extraordinary situation. The character could be playful, stubborn, and occasionally overwhelmed by homesickness, yet his loyalty to his patients and friends never wavered. Across the final 8 seasons, Farrell gave the role humor, dignity, and growing emotional complexity, while also contributing as a writer and earning Emmy nominations for acting and writing. Beyond the 4077th, he starred in Providence, produced the film Patch Adams, and devoted much of his life to humanitarian and social causes. As of July 2026, Mike Farrell is 87 years old and remains connected to the profession that made him beloved. His legacy endures through a surgeon whose decency, courage, and longing for home made him one of the story's most deeply human characters. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed looking back at the MASH cast and the remarkable stories behind their unforgettable roles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite character, funniest moment, most emotional goodbye, or most memorable scene from the 4077th in the comments below. See you in the next video.